So I'll start by reading a poem from the second half of my collection. It is called Oregon. It is something I wrote after reading Aristotle's account of human reproduction, which if people don't know is really sexist. Thought I'd mention it. Oregon. Spraying into something is the dissolution of this. It makes itself, says Aristotle, and the spraying is implicit. Into the dissolution of this. Aristotle makes it. Itself is something into spraying and implicit. This implicit something makes itself. This implicit spraying. This spraying is itself and makes it. A recipe provides the plan for. It is someone else's thoughts put onto paper. It is the description of something someone has done put onto paper. Something someone has done, originated. Where? What is what origin? Oregano. Oregon. Oregon. Origami. The origin of Washington is Oregon. Territory. Abhors torrential downpours. A recipe provides the origin. The plan for is a provision. Things that keep you alive, for example, water, food, clothing. The clothing is not the recipe, but a provision. The plan for is the description of what happening. So that was from the second half, which was just sort of a random collection of some stuff as I was experimenting with form, and as I honed more and more in on a form that I wanted to use at more length. I ended up with a poem called One Is, Two Is, You Is, which funnily enough, I found out after having penned the whole thing that Is You Is, or Is You Ain't My Baby is, I don't know, it's an old song. So never heard of that before. So anyway, I thought I'd try to read a couple of, it was a series of 32 poems. So I'll try to read a couple of those. Here's number 4. Necessary to be kept, a thought is often offered. For example, one has family to be sure. Which is to say, it takes 2 months to change one's mind completely. Susan presses the button to Sam's apartment, and hugging her, Sam avoids hard decisions. The same thing always inches in front of you if that thing is consciousness. She knows not to trust her own ears, but knowing the time and asking the time necessarily constitute positions of relative power. How chance is comprised mainly of pheromones. It's not that moments aren't shared. 2 eyes are nearly the same as one. Do you know what time it is, he asks? But the orders of things have already been questioned, even at this time of night. Could it be that a kettle on the stove, carrots in the bottom right drawer of the fridge are what drive dialogue? Or does presence promote its own kind of depthlessness? Here's number 16. A principle of experimentation gives birth to, and outcrawls someone else's verb, dripping and unspoken. The kind of thing that consists mostly in thought. Does performance reveal or invent its audience? Susan is way too drunk and hitting on Sam. The language they use is what others have to base them on. Developed themes might even be ambiguous. Does a girl in all black evoke what she thinks, or does she ease into a chair without tensing her muscles? Unless nothing happens. Events rub Susan's shoulder expectantly. That is, some minds divide things by 2 and multiply. Others are nothing if not nervous. 19. Susan and Sam together suggest balance. I draw this map for my eyes only. Shake off entry points. Do you feel your clothes sliding off? Do you listen attentively? Only a surface, contours direct hands where they were already headed. Only a reader wonders what happens next. To put down your pen for a moment, how nouns might be the whisper we hear just before waking. In this sense, who seduces whom has been predetermined, not because of vapor. Susan has taken classes on everything from shadows and forms to core strength. Posture is no longer on her mind. Sam to take cues from photographs. Some of the faces hidden, but reappearing. Done not with movement, but sequencing. What's suggested is nothing to ask for.